Uh-huh.
Lita, I think you need to go back to the person you invested with and find out exactly what kind of
Well,
annuity
it sounds
you
like
have.
it's fixed because I get a report from them every 3 months.
Well, you'll get a report every 3 months from a variable annuity, too. So,
Oh, I would?
Yeah, but your return will vary based on the underlying investments. So just for your own peace of mind, I'd go back and check to see what you've got.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to Miami and talk to David. Hey, David.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the air. Hi, David.
Yes.
You're on the air.
Okay, I'm a college student, and I was told that annuities were a good thing for somebody like me from my age to get into, but the person that I talked to made it sound like that annuities and mutual funds were a totally different thing.
Well, that depends. Go ahead, Tom.
David, annuities and mutual funds are different things. I think it really depends on your financial situation, and that would determine if the annuity makes sense for you. It's likely if you're in a low tax bracket and you haven't funded any retirement plans through your workplace that the annuity might not be appropriate for you. You should first consider your other retirement plans and saving outside for other needs like your college education expenses before you put too much money into an annuity.
I would add two differences also. Where a variable annuity is going to be tax deferred, a mutual fund is not. And the variable annuity does have the insurance benefits such as a death benefit and the right to annuitize where a mutual fund would not.
All right, but for someone at David's age, he's a college student. David, what's your tax bracket?
Right now I'm at mid to low.
Okay, so 28% or lower?
Yes.
All right, are you working?
Yes, I am.
Are you contributing to a company retirement plan?
No, I'm not, I don't work for a company. I work at a museum.
Okay, all right. Let's talk a bit about whether this sort of an investment, which is a long-term retirement vehicle. This is not something that you're going to put money in and take out in 10 years to buy a house, right, David?
Right, right.
Okay. Is that appropriate for someone of his age and in his tax bracket? Are there other things he should be doing first, in other words, to prepare for retirement?
Well, I think, as you said, I think you should fill up any employer plan, any IRA, and get a tax deduction on the amounts going in. To invest in a variable annuity at this young age requires a lot of discipline. You have to believe you're not going to have to touch it until 59 and a half, because not only there's income tax, there's a penalty. If you're disciplined and if you filled up your other retirement plans, then it makes sense. I can't tell you there are a lot of young people who are that disciplined.
I understand.
The surrender penalties provide the discipline to save, just like you wouldn't think of going into your 401k and getting that money because when you get ready to retire, you find out you don't have anything in there. The surrender penalties actually act as a way of enforcing the savings ethics, and a lot of people
Let's
like
talk
those.
about that. What are these surrender penalties all about?
There are two, basically. One is a 10% tax penalty if you take the money out before
That's
you're
the
59,
IRS one.
Right, before
Okay.
59 and a half. And the other is the insurance company itself imposes surrender charges that typically last 5 to 7 years and then disappear.
So in other words, if you put money into an annuity and you want to take it out at the 5th year, you're going to get hit with some sort of a penalty, like you would if you cashed out a 5-year CD early.
That is correct, although most insurance companies do allow you to take out a certain amount of money, let's say 10% a year, without any sort of surrender charges applying.
Not all annuities have these surrender charges, though. There are annuities available that waive that back-end sales charge if you go directly to the company to purchase the annuity.
All right, David.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much.
Let's go to Sioux Falls and talk to Richard. Hey, Richard.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, my question, first of all, I just wanted to comment that with Mr. Golden, I appreciated that he stated that we, at a young age, we should be investing within our company's programs, and I do highly invest within the stock programs of my company. My question being is that my mother has set up a living trust for her investments, and she currently is investing just as aggressively probably as I am as far as any portfolio that she has. But upon her death, when the trust itself goes into effect, which I do not look forward to, I hope she spends every penny and is very happy in doing so. But at that particular point, she has it set up so then the inheritance to myself and my siblings then goes into an annuity. And my understanding is the reason that she's done so is so that we can avoid an inheritance tax from the government on this. Now, is this correct? Am I understanding this correctly, that that's why she's done it? And at that particular point, from my understanding, and I'm not, I've never dealt with an annuity before, at that particular point, I, as the person who inherits that, only pay tax as I take from that. Is that correct or incorrect?
You will pay taxes on it when you take from the annuity. However,
But does he pay on the lump sum when he inherits it, or does he pay as he withdraws money?
well, it depends on the structure of it. If it was in the form of stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you would get what's called a step-up in basis. Effectively, what happens is you don't owe taxes on your inheritance. With an annuity, you will owe taxes on the value, the growth of the annuity from the amount you put in until what it's worth today.
Yeah, Richard, sounds like you need to get some more clarification there. We'll continue to explore the ins and outs of variable annuities. Take more of your calls after this break for Fox News Now. Welcome back to Fox on Money. I'm Gail Buckner. Variable annuities, one of the fastest growing investments around, have just taken a stomach punch from the likes of Forbes magazine. The February 9th article flat out calls them bad investments. Says you're a sucker if you own one. Considering $87 billion went into variable annuities last year, there's a lot of money at stake here. Some of it could be yours. Carolyn Gear, the Forbes reporter, declined to be with us today, but the variable annuities industry is fuming over what it considers a one-sided hatchet job and accepted our invitation to explore the issue. My guests are Mark Mackey, President and CEO of the National Association of Variable Annuities. Jerry Golden is Executive Vice President with the Equitable in New York City. Tom Arecchio is a certified financial planner with Greenbaum and Associates in New Jersey. Our phone lines are open. Give us a call, 1-888-TEL-FOX. Gentlemen, for those who may be just joining us, let's go back to our brief explanation of how a variable annuity works. It's simply a combination of a life insurance policy, which kind of acts as an umbrella, doesn't it, over the investments underneath it and protects those investments from being taxed annually. When you take the money out, however, you do pay tax at your ordinary tax rate. Let's talk a little bit about what the word annuity means, because annuity really means a stream of payments.
Yeah, the variable annuity comes in two parts. There's an accumulation phase
Where you're putting money in.
and where you're compounding the money before retirement. The second phase is after retirement, when you can convert it into a lifetime income. An annuity means a series of payments payable to the individual or the individual and the individual spouse over a certain period